Hi, this is Anna here, and this is my reflective self-analysis. I was given the support of AFL to teach the Hebron students. The first week I was observing my partner Aki, and the second week I taught by myself, and then the third week we taught together. It was good not having to go in the first week, as I got to observe Aki and what she did and what went well with her, and then I could use it in my session the next week. However, the good thing about having Year 9 students was that they hadn't actually done AFL before, so they weren't complaining like I know a lot of the other groups were, and they were open to doing all the things that we had asked of them. However, one issue we found was that only having 4 students in our group meant that the skills, a lot of the games we had learnt when Mick was teaching them were like with big groups and big teams, so when it came down to only having 4, we couldn't really put the skills into practice, so they were just kind of going over the skills a lot, which seemed a bit repetitive. So especially in the third week, Aki and I tried to get involved so that there would be more players, so they could really use the skills in a more of a reenactment. My first week of coaching, I found that I started off, I was quite nervous, so I was a bit standoffish, but throughout the lesson I found that I just got more confident. I realised that it actually wasn't as scary or as intimidating as I thought, and by the third session it was just a breeze. I really enjoyed it because I guess I was confident and I knew that it wasn't as scary as I had thought. Yeah, I found what I'd do next time is just go in. I just got to go in more confident because you really do actually enjoy it more yourself, and when you're enjoying it, I noticed that the kids got into it too. So as soon as I interacted and I started yelling with them, they started giving it back. So I can't expect them to be confident and having fun around me if I'm not having fun with them. One thing I found difficult, I think, was having all the other groups so close on the field that it was easy for the kids to kind of look around and kind of observe what the other students were doing and what their peers and stuff were doing. So we just had to make sure that we did our best to face them away when we were talking to them and just keep them really close. So we kept having little huddles, which helped helped us to see that they weren't kind of looking away and getting distracted. Another difficulty was that we did have one boy in our group which his teachers had told us that he has a bit of behavioural problems. However, he was fine. He did get distracted more easily than others, but since we only did have 4, it was pretty easy to keep him on task and focused, and he was really well behaved, and he was awesome. He kind of had a bit more character, which was good. One big thing I learned was that just going confident. I've just got to kind of fake it till I make it. The kids aren't scary. They're probably more scared of me than I am of them. And just have fun, just to make sure they're always having fun, because of course they're going to go off task and lose focus if they're doing something that's not entertaining and not challenging enough for them. So I've got to make sure that my activities are kind of age appropriate and skill level appropriate. Definitely the more obviously times I practice teaching in front of classes, it'll be easier. I'll just gain confidence and I'll learn different techniques on how to kind of keep the kids motivated, because I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of the time kids are doing activities and they're saying, oh, we did this last week, or this is boring, especially since we're doing skill acquisition, so it's kind of, we just wanted to make sure that they actually understood the skills, so it wasn't a lot of game playing. But that's why we just had to make sure that me and Aki, especially in the last week, came up with games which still was skill learning, yet they could play games, and it was different kind of learning scene, I guess. Overall, I think mean, I could do pretty well. Obviously, we were both nervous to start off with, in both our individual coaching sessions, but by the third, the time went so fast, and we honestly both left saying we had so much fun, and time just flew by. So yeah, looking forward to golf and see how that goes.